Guys, I thought Longlegs was intense. I thought the substance was insanity. Welcome to Haunted by Horror, where every season is horror movie season. Today I'll be reviewing Smile 2. Now, the first one I really enjoyed so much more than I thought I was going to, and the ending, although very predictable, the execution of it, I thought was awesome. So when they announced the sequel, I was like, this is Parker Finn's opportunity to make something feel even more original. And I'll get to the originality of this movie in a second, but my God, scariest horror movie of the year for me personally. I did not expect this movie to terrify me as much as it did. I did not expect the jump scares to hit me as well as they did, but that's the genius of Parker Finn in these first two Smile movies. The execution in these movies is awesome. And this brings me to my two main highlights of this movie: the camera shots, the cinematography, and the scares. Now, I gotta say, first and foremost, this is an absolutely gorgeous horror movie. Like, the camera shots in here are amazing. So many dollies and pans that are just incredible to look at. So many long, unbroken, one-take shots in this movie that I just love. I love those type of shots in movies when they're executed well, and there were so many in here it was hard to keep count. But for me, that was the genius of Parker Finn in this movie, was he holds the scare or the intensity just long enough to where you just don't know when it's coming. And that's the type of scares that get me the most. You just don't know when they're coming. And even when you do, I said this in my out of the theater reaction, even if you do know that jump scare is coming, you know it's a good jump scare when it still gets you. And there was a jump scare that was advertised in the trailer that I saw coming a mile away in the movie, and my soul felt like it jumped out of my body when it hit. I was so shocked that it got me that good. I was just like, wow, that is what you call a good fucking jump scare. And I gotta talk about Naomi Scott in this movie. She was amazing in this movie. Horror movie performance of the year, in my opinion. And that's coming from a year of great horror movie appearances like Nicolas Cage. But she absolutely sold every single emotion that she was given. She came at the beginning of the movie and said how proud she was of this movie, and you absolutely deserve it. You should be 100% proud of this movie. Not only was the movie really fucking good, but you were amazing in the movie, and I can't wait to see what you do going forward. The gore in this movie is the last thing I have to praise. I heard this movie was gory, but not on the level of Terrifier 3. And that is true, but man, it was so much gorier than the first one. The first one had a few gory scenes, but not really that much. This one, there was gore all the time, and my God, was it splendid to look at. But what I will say about this movie is it doesn't exactly get points for originality, because there are many scenes that are just variations of the first movie, but that was part of the fun of it, to see how he would execute these things. So yes, if your main complaint with this movie is that it's not really original at all and you can see the ending coming a mile away, I honestly want you to just look at the execution of the movie and see where I'm coming from. Guys, I'm telling you, with all of this combined, all of this made the horror movie experience that was tailor-made for me. I absolutely love the scares in this movie and how they were executed. I think it was more intense. I think it was more unsettling than the first one. This movie absolutely blew me away. I did not expect this to be as good as it was. Even by the trailer, I thought the group of people smiling, who we later find out is supposed to be the backup dancers, I thought it looked kind of silly in the trailer, but upon execution, the movie, it was not silly at all. It was actually one of the more creepiest moments of the movie, and the point where I was like, yep, I absolutely would not want that to be happening in front of me. Thank God this curse does not exist. But guys, I mean, experience-wise, this was an A+ movie. Critically, I'm going to give it an A. Me personally, this absolutely blew me out of the water. I cannot wait to add this movie to my collection with the original Smile. I couldn't be happier with this movie, guys. Parker Finn, you did an amazing job, and I cannot wait to see what you do going forward. Now, is it the greatest horror movie ever? In my opinion, it's not, but it might be over time. But in my opinion, this movie was everything that I needed. It was everything that I wanted, and I could not be happier with this movie. So therefore, guys, that is my review of Smile 2. I hope they make a sequel to this that's just as good or even better, and I can't wait to see what else Parker Finn does, and Naomi Scott. Well, this is Haunted by Horror. I'm Kyle Bedian, Asian out.